and welcome to Intuitive Insights. I'm your host, Carolyn Rose, so thank you so much for joining us. In this episode, we'll be talking a little bit about Reiki, which is a form of energy healing. Reiki is a Japanese word, and when you break it down into its syllables, Rei loosely translates as the wise, kind of higher intelligence that guides the creation and the functioning of the universe. Rei is the love and the light and the energy that permeates every person and creature and thing. It's an energy which guides and facilitates and helps. So in some traditions, this word could even be associated with the concept of God or with the concept of a creator. So when you take the word from that ki, that is the non-physical energy that animates all living things. Ki is flowing in everything that is alive, including plants, animals, and humans. So when a person's ki is high, they will feel strong, vibrant, confident, energized, and ready to enjoy life and take on its challenges. When their ki is on the lower side, they might feel weak and they might be more susceptible to illness. We receive ki from the air that we breathe, from the food that we eat, from the earth, from sunshine, and from sleep. It's also possible to increase our ki by using breathing exercises or meditation or doing things like yoga. Ki can be translated as spirit. Ki is known as chi in China or prana in India and has also been called vitality or life force. So with this in mind, Reiki can be defined together as a healing energy made up of the life force and guided by a higher awareness. So let's approach it from a more scientific standpoint as well. So physics tells us that everything is energy. This includes our bodies, our thoughts, and our feelings. So when we are feeling stressed, tired, overwhelmed, unwell, or if we have some kind of injury, it can deplete our natural energy. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase, I'm feeling drained, or perhaps you've even used the phrase that you feel so drained. And on an intuitive level, we understand that when we feel full of energy, we feel vibrant and alive. And when we feel depleted, we feel more run down or drained. So that feeling of feeling drained can cause a host of problems. It can make us feel tired, it can affect our immune systems, or it can make us more prone to stress, irritability, depression, anxiety. Energy can also get stuck in our bodies. So this can create blockages or feelings of being out of alignment. And it can also create disease, dis-ease, the act of being out of ease. So energy can get stuck in certain parts of our bodies, causing pain or inflammation. For example, our shoulders tend to hold on to the stresses associated with burden or excessive responsibility. Energy can also get stuck in our chakras. So chakra is the Sanskrit word for wheel. A chakra is one of the spaces where we give and receive energy with the world. We have hundreds of chakras, but we have 7 main ones that go up like a rainbow. So depending on which chakra the energy is stuck in, it can affect the organs near that chakra, as well as any of the emotional and metaphysical aspects of that chakra. So for example, grief, anxiety, or imbalance in relationships can get stuck in the heart chakra. Or if someone is struggling to use their voice or speak their truth to express themselves, energy can become stuck or imbalanced in their throat chakra. And we'll talk more about chakra system in an upcoming episode. So ultimately, the purpose of energy healing is to bring balance and alignment back to the body, as well as to the mind and spirit, because they're all equally important and they all affect each other. So in order for us to be truly balanced, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits all need to be healthy and happy and well. So energy healing has 2 main intentions. One is to help the energy to move. This releases any feelings of stuckness, stagnation, or blockage. And the other is to fill the body and the mind and the spirit back up with beneficial energy. This helps us to not only heal whatever is going on, which is causing us to feel drained or depleted, but also to have the overall experience of feeling recharged and rejuvenated, which allows us to approach life in a more positive way, because life feels better when we feel better. So there are 2 schools of thought when it comes to energy healing. Many believe that in order to be a clear channel or conduit for the healing energy, one must receive an attunement from a trained practitioner. And the other school of thought is that everyone has the power and ability to channel healing energy. While I see truth in both, I do believe that energy healing is a gift that we are all born with. Receiving an attunement or taking a training with a teacher can help someone to better understand the energy and to learn the necessary tools and techniques for connecting with the energy and using it in a positive and helpful way. But the actual ability to channel is there all along. That energy is by birthright. It's not given by anyone else. So to prove it, think about this. When we bump our knee, though we might first utter a few choice words, our immediate reaction is usually to cover and hold the spot with our hand, often rubbing or massaging it as well. This isn't only true for ourselves, the same is true for other people as well. So if a child runs by you and gets hurt, our reaction is typically to scoop them up and apply that same pressure and heat and love to the spot with our hands. This is our natural instinct to heal. Somewhere along the line, we've forgotten this innate ability. We become disconnected from it, from this incredible birthright which helps us to heal ourselves and others. So Reiki is just one name for this healing energy, and there are many others. But they all refer to the process of calling in the energy from all around us or from the universe to use with the intention of healing. So it's important to remember that with energy healing, we are channeling and sending universal life force, not our own personal life force, as that would be draining for us as well. That being said, there are many examples of hands-on healing being done throughout history. In Greek mythology, Chiron, the very wise centaur, caught Asclepius, the god of medicine, hands-on healing. This practice was held in such high esteem that the ancient Greek statues of Asclepius were made with golden hands, celebrating the power of healing touch. Of course, Jesus was also known to perform hands-on healing, but using the hands to transmit healing energy is not exclusive to any one religion or tradition. Hands-on healing is mentioned in the Bible, in the Quran, in the oral stories of many cultures. It's also been written that Muhammad healed through the laying on of hands, and the same has been said of Buddha. So energy healing is well documented throughout history and throughout several different cultures. So many people ask what it feels like to receive Reiki. It can be a little different for each person, but generally it feels very calming, very relaxing. So for me, when I give or receive Reiki, I feel a gentle warmth. Some people might experience it the way I do, but others might experience coolness, maybe a breezy feeling, the sensation of ocean waves, or a buzzing or tingling. Energy healing is typically very soothing, but it can feel stronger or more intense as it is working on a more acute area. So during Reiki, the receiver usually will sit or lie down in a comfortable position, and the practitioner will walk around them, either placing their hands lightly on them or hovering their hands over them as the energy flows between them. The practitioner might use a series of hand movements, follow their intuition, or follow the chakra system, depending on how they've been taught or how they choose to go about it. But touch is actually not required. So the energy will flow just as well if the hand is over the body as it would if the hand was on the body. And this is one of the ways that Reiki is different than massage. Massage requires manipulation of the muscles, whereas Reiki uses gentle touch or no touch at all. So both are wonderfully healing, and you can actually do them together. You can combine them, but you do not need to use massage in order to channel energy. They're actually different techniques. Energy healing is so relaxing that some people will actually fall asleep. This can be helpful for another reason, because sometimes our conscious minds can be a little noisy or busy or distracting. So falling asleep allows us to move our conscious minds out of the way, which allows us to relax and receive the healing energy on an even deeper level. Because of Reiki's ability to cleanse and clear our energy, it can also cause us to feel a little dehydrated. It can be a bit like a spiritual marathon sometimes. So drinking water is one of the ways that we flush our systems. So staying hydrated before, during, and after Reiki is incredibly important. Another interesting fact is that energy can be sent long distance. So you don't have to actually be in the same room for the energy to do its healing work. So imagine a time when you thought of a friend and they called you, or a time when you kept thinking about someone and later on you found out that they needed you for some reason, or they were thinking about you also. These are examples of the ways that energy travels. So though you may not have been in the same space, your energy affected each other. And this is a great time to point out that because our energy and thoughts can be so powerful, it's really important to think kindly about others, as we now know that our energy can affect people in ways that we might not understand. Energy healing can be helpful for a variety of reasons. It can help to reduce stress, improve the immune system, improve the condition, better our sleep, better our dreams, lessen pain or inflammation, bring more peace and clarity to the mind, improve our digestion. It can help us to feel more balanced, peaceful, joyful, aligned, and energized. It's very recharging and rejuvenating. One of the most beautiful things about receiving healing energy is that it will naturally go where it's most needed. The energy can tell where it's most needed. It will flow where it needs to go. So energy healing is safe for people of all ages, including the elderly, children, infants, and even babies in the womb. So when children are born, they are still connected to this healing energy. That's why it can be so soothing to hold a resting infant. Or when a baby's relaxed, they have this innate ability to help someone feel calmer and more at peace just by being near them. So an interesting story which helps to show how children are so in tune with this energy is that when I was really young, I can remember praying as I laid in bed at night. So for me, my connection to the universe or to the divine did not feel complete unless there was this really specific soft tingling sensation in my hands. And that was my sign that I was properly connected. I didn't really think I was praying correctly if I didn't have that sensation. So many years later, after I had my first daughter, I was at this class for parents and babies. And I met a woman who was teaching about the benefits of Reiki. She showed us how to give this energy to our little ones and the ways it could benefit them when they were fussy or tired or teething. So I practiced on my daughter, and much to my surprise, I felt that same soft, tingling warmth that I had felt as when I was a child and I was praying. So this, more than anything, showed me that energy healing is just another way to connect to the divine. It's just another way to connect to this beautiful gift from the universe, and that we are all born with it. So the more I practiced, the more I was able to connect with that living energy inside of people, as well as in plants, in the earth, and animals who also love to receive Reiki. My dog is obsessed. So when I held my hands over someone as I was practicing, there was this natural, gentle surge of energy. And if the energy was blocked, the sensation would be lessened. And if the energy was working on a spot that needed more healing or in a spot that was inflamed, the energy would feel kind of hot or prickly or more intense. So energy, again, intuitively knows where to go and how to flow. And there seems to be this understanding or this awareness to it. And maybe that goes back to that Ray word, where it's this higher intelligence. I continued my journey by becoming attuned so that I could learn more about the techniques of channeling energy and how to do it in a way that most benefited myself and others. But it has really been a remarkable journey. I use Reiki every day for myself and for my loved ones. It's very healing. So while Reiki and energy healing sound quite special and perhaps even a little bit magical, or some might say woo-woo, numerous studies have been done on the efficiency and the scientific veracity of hands-on healing. Professor Bernard Grad, a Canadian biologist, has published dozens of papers on experiments involving healing. He has successfully used barley seeds, animals, plants, even humans to prove that there's something very objective and scientifically verifiable that happens when a healer has offered energy. The results consistently show that the healer's intervention had a profound positive effect on the rate of healing. And Professor Grad's major conclusion is that healing by the laying on of hands is a scientifically verified phenomenon, which has been additionally verified by numerous carefully controlled experiments throughout the world. So one of the more interesting experiments using humans was conducted by a California doctor, Daniel Worth. 44 student volunteers received a matching wound on their arm. The volunteers were divided into two different groups, but both groups were kept keenly unaware of any energy healing or healers that would be involved or offering healing to them. So this eliminated the possibility of a placebo effect. They weren't even aware of it. So at the end of the experiment, the group of students which did not receive the energy healing still had open wounds, whereas the vast majority of the wounds in the other group that had received energy healing were either healed completely or documented as being well on their way to healing. So this documentation of Worth's findings can be found in the very interesting documentary film by BBC called A Way of Healing. So Reiki and other forms of energy healing are becoming more widely available, used, and appreciated by the medical and the alternative communities alike. It works well in conjunction with conventional approaches, so they can be well combined. It's wonderful for people, animals, plants, and for the earth. It can be used for something as simple as bringing a greater sense of calm or peace to your day, or to more complex issues such as a significant health concern. But regardless, Reiki is a wonderful way to bring more healing to your life and to the lives of those around you. So our intention today was to give you more information about energy healing, and Reiki for your own education and empowerment, and we hope that it has benefited you, and we wish you many blessings on your journey, and perhaps that will include more energy healing and Reiki from here on. So in just a moment, you'll see some ways that you can find more information on the screen, and I thank you for joining us for Intuitive Insights. Take care.